So I've been giving the Curry Hover Splash a lot of praise in a very short amount of time. And this shoe right here, this might potentially be a better version of the Curry Hover Splash. Whew. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another WearTesters video. My name is Jalik, and today we are taking a look at the Under Armour HOVR Havoc 4, also known as the Havoc 4 clone. More on the clone technology later. What we have here is just a team colorway, navy and royal. It is very basic, however, I really do like the looks of this shoe, particularly in this blue colorway. There are some more fun colorways that have already released overseas, but as far as what we have here in the US, it's been kind of a soft launch. There's been no release of these at major retailers that I know of, basically just some eBay sellers here in the US and also some mom and pop retailers, all of which have been getting team colorways of these. So I don't really know what the deal is as far as the rollout goes, but I was able to find these, and I was actually able to find these for under retail. Retail pricing on these looks like it's going to be $120. I'm not sure if the eBay seller is going to keep prices low on these or if they're going to change at some point, but we will leave a link down in the description box for you to check that out if you like. It's not really a plug for them, just letting you know where I got them from. Now, earlier in the year, maybe even last year from what I can remember, there were some catalog images that leaked these out and also had descriptions on them. The thing was, these were named the UA Embiid 2. Not sure what's happening with Embiid's signature line moving forward. All I know is there were documents that said this was the Embiid 2, or a shoe that looks just like this and seems to fit the description as well. And now it's the HOVR Havoc 4. There are rumors going around that Embiid is going to be wearing these on court as the HOVR Havoc 4. Last I remember, he was out on COVID protocol, so I'm not sure what he's been wearing so far in this season before he went out. But anyways, I've been very interested in this shoe since I first saw actual images of the shoe, and I'm excited to play in them. I actually will apologize in advance if this review seems rushed or anything. I'm actually trying to get this film immediately. I've had these for all of 15 minutes now. I'm hoping to get some good footage out of the way and then take these straight to the court later on tonight. 2 of the 3 indoor courts that I have access to, I will not have access to starting tomorrow, so definitely want to see what these are about as soon as possible. Now, getting right into the traction on these guys. For the outsole, we have all solid rubber on this colorway, different colors for different sections. In the forefoot, you have a multi-directional blade pattern. It does kind of turn into a herringbone pattern briefly and then kind of goes back to the blade pattern. Coverage in multiple directions, so I'm excited about that. On the back half of the shoe, you have more of a angular pattern, and it does go in multiple directions also. Pattern wise, I like what I see as far as the compound and how the rubber feels. It doesn't feel very pliable right now, and it is packed a little bit tight in some areas, but the tread does have a good bit of depth to it. So even though some of those spaces are tightly packed, there are some areas where the tread just seems to go pretty deep on these. It's almost like a multi-layer setup. As far as cushion goes in the midsole, this would make sense why this might have been the Embiid 2. It has a very similar setup to the Embiid 1, which was a full-length micro G carrier with a puck of HOVR in the heel. This is basically the same setup, however, unless things have changed from the catalog description that had these as the Embiid 2. That description did say that the HOVR was 50% more volume in the heel. I didn't have the Embiid 1 to really know if there is a difference or if you can feel a difference. What I can say is the heel HOVR does feel very prominent in these, so I'm liking what I'm feeling. Up in the forefoot, it doesn't feel like the bad micro G. I would say it's kind of more of an in-between. Maybe things will change when it heats up a little bit. I have some time to break it in, but we'll see from there. As it feels right now, just from a quick try on, it feels very good in the heel, feels pretty decent in the forefoot. Nothing too spectacular. Seems like it's going to be a good blend of cushion and court feel. Hopefully that is the case. Now, while the upper does have some touches of textiles, kind of a neoprene-like and an open cell mesh over towards the heel, the clone name comes from the technology used for the upper. I don't know too much about clone technology from Under Armour. What I do know is that it's been used in one of the running shoes. I want to say it was the HOVR Phantom 2, and it's also been used in cleats, more for American football to my understanding. The way it's been described on those is it's supposed to be more of a form-fitting type deal, something that molds to your foot very nicely. The one signature thing you can tell from it is kind of the quilted nature that you have, so I'll go ahead and zoom in on that for you guys. Where I've noticed some differences is the actual materials that are used for the clone. So in the football cleat and also the HOVR Phantom 2, I think it's the HOVR Phantom 2, those seem to use 2 different types of textiles in each. This one here, from the cuts on it, it looks like a synthetic leather, but it actually feels pretty premium. So it's basically basically a quilted leather, and then it's backed by, I don't know what this is, like a cotton or something. I don't know what that's gonna do as far as ventilation, but as far as how it feels on foot, man, they feel nice. I'm excited about it. It looks good, it feels good so far, and I'm just really excited to see how they work out on court. Now for the tongue, you do have a open cell mesh, almost a torch style. It's not quite as stretchy as something like that you would get from Nike, but definitely is similar. Got a nylon tongue pull tab, and then the heel pull tab is a synthetic leather, it looks like, with a little bit of nylon backing it, and it looks weird. It reminds me of the T-Mac Millennium. I think that was the one from Adidas. So it's just like a weird spoiler-ish. I don't know. If you're someone that likes to have your toes right at the edge, not a lot of wiggle room, just kind of keep everything comfortably in place, you will like these. Just, I mean, check out the slope of them. It's very nice without being harsh on the foot. So people that like that type of fit will enjoy these true to size. Wide footers, you may actually be okay going true to size in these as well. If the clone technology is meant to mold to your foot properly, then I think you should be okay on these. There's nothing too abrasive or anything around the upper that I think would give you any kind of problems. But if you have the chance to try them on in store or try them on before you purchase, then I would recommend you do so. Maybe you do need to go a half size up, I don't know. And then for support, everything feels on point with these for me. You do have a pretty wide base, so I think that's a great thing. You're not too high off the ground, so that's gonna aid in stability as well. Got a heel counter, feels okay, nothing too special or anything. Feels like it'll get the job done. You do have a lot of sculpting around the heel also, which should kind of keep you locked in. And then it does seem like there's a somewhat substantial amount of torsional support in here. I don't know for sure what it is, more than likely a TPU, but feels like it might be a little bit on the heftier side just to stop from any unorthodox torsional movement. And that's pretty much gonna wrap it up as far as my overview on the Under Armour HOVR Havoc 4 clone. I am very excited about these. As I mentioned in the intro, the Curry HOVR Splash has been one of my favorite shoes. Actually, I put it in my top 5 after only having it for a couple of weeks. These feel like they're gonna give much of the same experience that I had with those, but maybe even add some things on as far as like the premium feeling of the upper, things of that nature. So I'm all for it. I mean, if it's an even better performer than what I think is a good performer, who can be mad at that? But yeah, that's about gonna wrap it up. Again, we will have a link to where I purchased these from down in the description box below or in the article. MSRP on the box says $120, so expect that for a retail price. As I mentioned before, I'm ready to take these right over to the court, so hopefully I can do that. I'll try to follow up as soon as I can with a performance review, given that I can get back into my normal gyms or at least get some good run on some other courts. And with all that being said, y'all take care of yourselves, take care of one another. Thank you again for tuning in. My name is Leek. I'm out.